Hello Taurus, happy January and happy New Year. This is your general reading for the month of January 2019. Please keep in mind it is a general reading, so it may not resonate entirely with everyone. Also, by the way, I burp sometimes, although not loudly, and just energy running through me, and I also swear sometimes. So let's see what's going on with you guys for the month of January 2019. Interesting. So you guys have a lot of reversals, which are not bad, but sometimes I usually take it as needing to look at something differently. So this could also be a month of shifting perspectives. So for where you're at right now is the Queen of Cups in reverse. So this is water sign energy, which is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So since it's you, though, it relates to usually maybe having an emotional imbalance, because water is emotions and feelings. What I'm getting is not necessarily being truthful with yourself. That there may be something when it comes to your feelings that you've been hiding from yourself and possibly the world, that you've been kind of keeping locked up in this little chalice, but it's been close to you, but maybe you've been denying that it's there. So I would take that as the challenge for you guys right now is being in touch with your emotions, expressing them in a healthy and thoughtful way, and in a fruitful way, which I would say in a productive way. So it not just as the sign of Taurus, you guys are very practical. And I think there's a part of you that thinks, if I express my emotions, what good will that do? And so I think that's the challenge, is to find a way to productively assert your feelings and emotions, to let your feelings be known. And that could be what you're going through this month, is figuring out how that you're maybe not feeling emotionally mature, and finding a way to constructively express your emotions. And you may need to do some experimenting to find that, to realize like, oh, that doesn't work, or this doesn't work. And I feel like sorry, I'm hearing words that don't necessarily make sense, like outmoded enterprises. But what I'm getting is, for some of you, you may be thinking of past experiences when you're like, that didn't work, so therefore I can never do this again. And it may even be looking at what didn't work, thinking about why, and then just tweaking it a little bit and saying, well, really it was that I talked to this person when they were really upset, or maybe I came at them in the wrong way or something. You know, you can always think about the context of the situation, where how you were feeling, how they were feeling, what was going on, and maybe something will come up in that where you're like, okay, so let's change at least one of those factors, and the whole situation can be entirely different and possibly better. So try that. This Seven of Cups, this is something influencing you at the moment for this month. So this, I feel, what I'm hearing is terrible options. But with this, usually it's about having choices, but I always see the Seven of Cups as representing the 7 deadly sins. There's 7 choices, but they're not choices you necessarily want. And for some reason, the ghost is standing out, so I feel like it could be either paying attention to someone who has ghosted you, someone who has died, or not giving up something that is maybe not literally haunting you, but figuratively haunting you. For some of you, it could even be that perhaps there's a spirit that you're not allowing to move on. If you're feeling especially attached to them, it may be something that you need to consider letting go of. But I feel like it's a presence in your life that you may or may not be aware of. And it may not be to your best benefit to keep them around, because the snake that's right next to the ghost is standing out. So I feel like whatever it is, because a ghost, whatever the ghost represents. If any of you watch The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix, you know there's multiple forms of being haunted. There's different types of things that can haunt you, as it can be not necessarily an actual spirit, but a memory or something you did in the past that you feel ashamed or guilty about. It can be anything that is like a person, living or dead, a relationship, something left behind, something that doesn't exist anymore, but there's a shadow self, shadow version of it that is still with you in one way or another. So however that applies to you, whatever that thing is, I'm hearing it's time to give up the ghost. It's a little, kind of overset, but I feel like it's important to recognize this isn't something that no longer serves you. And it's something that is worth letting go of. So it's interesting. What's crowning you, sort of above you, influencing you at this moment, is making a decision. Because with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, this is about you were juggling two things, now you're not. You're picking one. And it could be that you've been in the process of trying to make a decision about something, which is good. It's a good idea to do that. And you've done a good job so far. But I feel like it's really deciding what is the best path for you to go on. Sorry, I'm hearing like, what is the path that nature intended? What is the best path, most natural path for you? And so that might be part of the choice that needs to be made, is whatever is the best route for you to take. And you may not even necessarily want to admit that that's the route, because that may not seem as dangerous, sexy, alluring, appealing. It may be something that's a little bit more safe. But quite honestly, that's consistent with your sign. I mean, you're earth signs. Part of this is also acknowledging this is who you are and this is what you want. You do want a safer road. Your sign, Taurians, really like their home element, your earth signs, which relates to home, finances, security, stability, having a strong foundation, having money, having that secure base that you can survive from. So once you have that set up, then you feel like you're prepared to move things forward in your life. So what will help you do that? What is the decision, like sort of choosing the pentacle, which is also earth element, that will help you personally move forward? So it feels like there's a choice you may need to make by the end of this month, by the end of January, that could inform the rest of your year, possibly. Now, the base of the reading, Page of Pentacles in reverse. This is usually about, it could be that there's something new that you are not exploring, you're not learning, or you're not doing. And because when it's in reverse, it usually means it's not happening. Upright, this is about, being a student, building something for the future, learning a new skill or a new trade. So it could be that you've put something on hold that you actually want to learn and you actually want to do. And what I'm getting is there's no time to waste. And to act now. So if there's something that you thought about doing for several years, look into how you can learn that new thing, or how, what steps can you take, even if they're baby steps, even if it's just one step at a time, to move that thing, whatever that is, forward that you want to do. And then you'll have a victory. So you will need to master your emotions, give up the ghost, make a decision, and decide to move something forward, and then you will have the victory. This is really, it's pretty simple. It's a victory and acclaim, recognition, usually for how far you've come. This is a short-term outcome card. So this could be within the next couple months. For some of you, it may not be until the next year, or the end of the year, within the next year. But at the same time, you will get applause and acclaim for what you have done, if you put in the effort. There's always that disclaimer. And part of that effort I'm getting too is getting out of something that's toxic. The devil in reverse usually means that you've been in a situation that could be binding or make you feel like that's the case, feel like you're bound, and feel stuck, feel a little bit trapped. But you've already started to see your way out, and you just need to take that leap of faith or make that jump or cut the cord or break the chain, whatever it may be. However that is for you, metaphorically in your life or literally in your life, but those are the metaphors for it, of finding that way to get out of that bad situation that you know is unhealthy and is toxic. And for some of you, I'm hearing partnership, possibly relationship. I don't know why, but I'm hearing cornerstone archetype, whatever that means. Well, it could be if you feel like you're stuck in an archetype or a stereotype, that you are trying to live up to other people's expectations, goals, models of behavior or being. So it could also be if you find yourself going down a path and everyone thinks that you're X, but you're really Y. Or, whatever, but they think that you're this and you are really that, and you're like, oh no, I didn't want to define myself as that, that's not me, that's not who I am. Or you thought you were, and then you're like, actually this isn't me at all. Of getting out of that and finding your own way out of that scenario. And I feel like it's important to be your authentic self in that case. And then also where you are with this, I would say it means that you feel like you don't have a strong financial base at this time. It makes sense. We're coming out of Christmas and out of the holidays. Most people in the month of January don't have a lot of money. You're waiting for your tax return. It makes sense. For some of you, I'm getting, you may want to, if you can, put some money into your savings. Yeah, even if it's just $20. But if you can, for some of you, I'm getting like put at least $5 away once a week. And what I'm getting is, even if you're upside down, your feet are still on the ground. So even if you feel like everything is topsy-turvy, you don't know what's up, what's down, what's going on. Basically, you're feeling mental confusion, you're struggling. Physically, you may feel like things are kind of all over the place. You don't really know. It's just a lot of confusion, a lot of like, what now? What now? Your feet are still on the ground, which I think also means you're still an earth sign. You know, you are one with the earth. You are still very much grounded. You're still moving at a methodical, maybe a little bit slower pace, but than the other signs anyway, but you're still on the ground, you're still rooted. So I think it's important to ground, run your energy through the bottoms of your feet into the earth. Imagine roots growing down. Ground your energy, which also puts you in your body, so you're very much present. Like when you drink or use drugs or smoke weed or anything like that, you're kind of going outside of your body. You're out of your head. But when you ground, you're back in your body. You're very much present. And I feel like, in a way, being grounded, putting away savings will probably help make you feel more, sorry, they keep repeating a word that doesn't necessarily apply to this. They keep saying sensitized. But it's really about feeling you have your stability in a world full of chaos. So having money in the bank, having some savings, grounding your energy, being in your body, that means that you're ready for whatever's coming. You're ready for what lies ahead, and you're ready for anything, for any upheaval. Now for the outcome, you may not be feeling as strong as you would like. And again, we've got the King of Pentacles here in reverse also in the future position. So I keep getting you're stronger than you think you are. For some of you, you're far stronger than you think you are. And I think it's recognizing your potential, seeing yourself for who you really are, holding on to your money, keeping your boots on the ground and being prepared for whatever comes next. It almost feels like it could be that there's elements going on this month. That's sort of what it feels like, that there is some chaos maybe starting near the end of the month or that's coming in this month. And it could be personal chaos. It could be government, societal, what have you. Don't know. But there will be some outside influences that will be affecting your life. And I feel like it will be to your mental benefit to feel like you are present and you are ready for anything. You're ready in case your fight or flight mode kicks in. You're ready in case there's conflict, in case there's family issues, in case there's family drama, if you quit your job, if that's what this toxic situation is that you have to get out of, if you go back to school and you need money, you need to feel some stability because otherwise you feel like your world is kind of, it's going through the state of upheaval. It's not necessarily the apocalypse, the world's going to come to an end, but it feels more like there could be a lot going on. And, you're going to stop juggling stuff. You're making a decision. So often with making a decision, there's forward momentum. That can be a little bit scary. And it might be a lot of things that happen really fast, which can feel like a whirlwind. So I feel like it's really not doubting yourself, not doubting your own internal strength. And they're being repetitive now. So it's just keeping your feet on the ground, keeping a level head, saving some money for a rainy day. That way you'll feel personally satisfied and prepared. Okay, Taurus. Well, I hope you have a wonderful January, and I will see you again next month.